I see colors when people speak, when they laugh, when they argue, and when they present their ideas at TEDxGEM. I see colors. In fact, I believe all human communication is based on 7 keys I call colors. And that includes the communication of our digital society. Clickbait, eye candy, and my favorite, food porn. Understanding these 7 colors will make you a more powerful communicator and help you see how robots are being programmed with the same colors to communicate with us and perhaps to control us. Now, I know at TEDxGEM I'm supposed to give you 1 good idea, not 7. But I trust you will follow. You are the leaders of tomorrow. You love ideas, and your thirst for knowledge and skills will be rewarded. You will grow as you acquire more. Soon, some of you young people here tonight will be invited to be on the board of directors of leading firms. You will attend your first meeting and sit quietly observing the other directors. And then a challenge will arise. Tempers flare and animosity break your team. And your chairperson will turn to Terry, who's seated across from you, for her to make the final decision, the one that determines your company's survival, your future. Imagine the scene as Terry, as you listen, your board will listen. Because Terry's a robot. She knows. This is not science fiction, nor a cool episode of Black Mirror. The World Economic Forum estimates that robots will sit on corporate boards by 2026. That's practically next week. Today, robots are communicating with us everywhere, and we need to think about how they will communicate in the future. And spoiler alert, it's not with Snapchat. I believe they will communicate with the 7 colors that I have identified after years of public speaking, coaching other public speakers, doing stand-up comedy and other performance experience. I've given each of these keys a color because I'm also a visual artist, and I believe we live in a visual world where we have unconsciously been trained to see these colors. But don't believe me. Let's ask a robot. Alexa, what are the 7 keys of colorful communication?
Sorry, I don't know the answer to that question, for now.
She doesn't know, but she will know by the end of my talk tonight. Well, we didn't get an answer, but we saw a color. What color did you see? Blue. Blue is the color I call blue vision. This is the color I see when people give their opinion, their belief, their unique perspective on the world. When Greta Thunberg or Elon Musk speaks with their blue vision, the world listens. All of the speakers tonight have used this color, and I started my talk with it when I said, I see colors when people speak. I let you see the world through my eyes, using the I in communication. I see, I believe, I think. That's what Alexa's blue ring is signaling she can do too. Have a blue vision. And as robots select songs for us, choose the best route for a journey, they cement the impression we have experienced with them. And that gives them the background to speak with a blue vision. And soon they will be making major decisions for us because we will listen to their blue vision. Now let's ask Alexa another question. Alexa, what is the color indigo?
Duh, indigo. If you need the exact definition, it is a deep and rich color close to the color wheel blue, as well as to some variants of ultramarine.
We got a nice answer. And we also got it in the color I associate with indigo. This is the color I call indigo depth. It's the color of knowledge, content, data, statistics, all of the non-emotional content that the speakers have shared with you tonight here has been in this color. Now, is it any surprise that the answer Alexa gave me appeared on my telephone like this? Indigo is in the background. For me, it's not a surprise because indigo is in the background of this image that you have all seen. That dark indigo night sky symbolizes man's search for meaning, knowledge, and depth. Exactly the success of an event like TEDxGEM. Both the designers of robots at Amazon and the artist who made this image know that indigo is one of the key colors of communication, content. Now I ask you, what other colors do you see on this image? Red and white. Now I look a little closer and I see two keys that I call red emotions and green hope. And yes, I'm not crazy. I see green on this image, and I'll explain why in a minute. But first, those four white figures, they symbolize to me all of the red emotional history that has got us to this point tonight, our evolution, all of the love and the hate, the war and the peace, the pain and the pleasure, including food porn. Those are red emotions. And over on the right, we see the little boy, the plant, and the fast-forward symbols as symbols of a green future, a hopeful future, green hope. Now, green hope is the color we use when we want to make other people act. With green hope, we plant the seeds that there can be a better future full of advantages and benefits for you, the audience. Napoleon Bonaparte said, leaders are dealers in hope. And yes, salesmen, managers, coaches, and presidents all speak with this color. Yes, we can. Let's make America great. Two very powerful messages of hope. Now, hope is the cornerstone of great speeches, but it's also the cornerstone of bad propaganda, clickbait, false hopes, and real genocides. And that's why we must be careful, because hope is easy to create with very simple words. You, we, can, will, let's, going to, future, tomorrow. With those words, robots can create messages of hope for you, just like I did at the beginning of my speech when I said, you are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, did I mention that food porn gives me a red emotion? Yes, red emotions are those things that connect us to any memory or feeling or experience of pain or pleasure. The red carpet I'm standing on tonight and the red logo scream out at you red emotions. And that's normal, because as speakers we connect through stories full of red emotions. Personal stories, family stories, and our collective history is a big source, rich in red emotions. But you don't need to tell the whole story to connect to an emotion. If I say, I love Grenoble, it will connect with you because you all have a history of this city now. We all know that those AI algorithms and robots are searching at this very moment through all of the data trails we have left behind us for those key words of red emotions that they use for advertising. But soon they will use speaking. And those words can be just one: mother, terrorist, ice cream. Names too can trigger an emotion. Alexa, I gave my robot the name Terry because I knew it would connect maybe to some people here, are thinking right now of a man or a woman called Terry. I know I am. It's the name of my daughter. She's 16 years old. And to prove it, I brought you a picture of my little duck. Well, you didn't really believe I'd bring a picture of my daughter, a teenager. She'd kill me if I got home after that. And you know that. But some of you smiled and some of you laughed. And that told me we connected with another color I call yellow joy. Yellow joy is created with smiles, humor, laughter, warmth, confidence, and we create joy. Now, we all love joy in our daily communication, and that explains the proliferation of all those smileys we send out to everybody, yellow smileys. But it also explains why Alexa will now tell you a joke, and other robots are being programmed to communicate with yellow joy. I know this to be true because a good friend of mine who designed my website, he is the head AI programmer at one of the leading telephone giants in the world. And after he programmed my website, he went back to his office with my ideas and started programming his machines to learn these 7 keys. And if my ideas got to his office, then they got to the office of the competition, right? Because everybody knows everything today, right? Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, right? But if you are programming robots today, you have already taken into account the color which I'm speaking with right now, which is called orange energy. Yes, robots can now vary the pace, the pitch, the volume, the accent, all of the different techniques, intonation, to connect and show us that they can speak with energy. Add to that sophisticated body language and gestures, and soon they will be connecting all the time with energy, just like humans. And as humans, we love to share energy. We love to sing and dance and talk. And we also love to receive energy. We love to receive energy in video games when there are car chases and gun fights and explosions in Hollywood films. We love energy because nobody wants to sit for 2 hours, even at a great event like TEDxGEM, right? So I'm going to ask you to stand up just quickly. We have 1 minute to shake your body and use your energy and see if you can actually shout out the 6 colors. Yeah, shake out your energy. See if you can shout out. Can anybody shout out the 6 colors that I have do it? That's not much energy, man. Use your body. Shout out the energy. Does anybody know the colors I have explained so far tonight? Can you shout out? Indigo, depth. Green, hope. Yellow, joy. Orange, energy. Red, emotions. Blue, vision. Blue vision. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that energy. Thank you very much for sharing that energy. It's one of the keys of communication, to speak with energy. So thank you. Thank you for your energy. We have time now for the last and 7th color, the most magical color of communication. Remember when I told you about the boardroom scene and I said to imagine, and then I left a pause. These are very simple techniques that everybody uses, and robots can use too. Imagine. This is the way we trigger a connection to what I call your soul, the purple soul. Our soul speaks to us through the imagination and intuition. Words and images flow to us when we daydream and let our minds free. This is the color of John Lennon's song, Imagine, and Martin Luther's, I Have a Dream. Silence, too, can connect you to your soul, as all great communicators know, and Chekhov knew too. Through silence, we connect to the one song of all humanity, where everything is known and everything is expressed. At a concert, we create silence, and people pull out their telephones and hold up a torch or a lighter, and some magic will appear in the audience. Always. Now, I'm not going to do that tonight to you. That's too easy. I'm just going to tell you a little story about my application to TEDxGEM. When I applied months ago, frankly, I was a bit worried about not making the selection. So I told nobody in my family. And then, while I was on holiday this summer in Montreal, Canada with my daughter Terry, I received an email telling me I could pitch my idea again by video conference. I was so excited, I showed my daughter this image on my telephone. And she said, "It's a good sign." And I said, what's a good sign? "It's a good sign you'll speak there." I said, "Why? Why?" "Because it has Gem, my middle name." I had not seen that when I applied. But my daughter, she saw it instantly. And in that instant, she imagined me here tonight with you. And she told me with her purple soul. My daughter's name is Terry Gem, and she is not a robot. We are not robots when we speak with the colors of our emotions, energy, joy, hope, vision, depth, and soul. Today, robots are taking our jobs, taking our tools and skills, and these 7 keys. Perhaps one day they will lock us in a sad dystopia with them. But until they master all of these covers, we are ahead of them. So go forward and live your legacy, sharing the colors of your emotions, energy, joy, hope, vision, depth, and soul. The 7 keys to connect and create a future worth living for you and our world.